Okay, today we're going to talk about how do you change the odds in your favor of anything. Anything. Ooh, it's not difficult. Are you ready for this? I know how it works. Yeah? Let's go. Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears, live an amazing life. I'm supplying the tools on this channel to manifest anything. Anything? Anything! You might think that's a tall order, but I would show you that my students have done unbelievable things that they never thought was possible. You can do this too. First of all, I hope you'll subscribe, support my channel, and let YouTube know that you want more empowering, positive videos. Yes, and I'm going to show you that today. So how are we going to do this? How do we shift into that beautiful space of the things that I desire? First of all, do you feel guilty about desiring abundance or a higher paying job or a good relationship? Well, that's a barrier. If you don't believe it, you don't think you deserve it, you have to get past those limitations. That's why I wrote Breakthrough Fear. It's just a story in your head. So here's how it works. Now, once you master the breaking through the fear, and it's talking over here, the ego's saying, you can't do this, you can't have that, and you go, okay, yeah, whatever. I know I can, and you see it, but you really feel it. You can't just have a vision board, you got to know it. You got to be it. And so that means you have to take the action too, and start to behave, learn what you need to become that which you desire, which puts you in a situation or a different person, that you're going to become. So you have to master that. That means you have to know that there's no reason you can't get that position or that job or that event or whatever it is, or that healthy relationship or health, abundance, whatever it is. So if you've gone into my free video series, I have a free webinar, and in my webinar I explain all kinds of situations where I did the impossible. Because I say one thing, why not me? Why not me? So what happens is, I'm going to share with you how to change the odds. So you have 100 people. Well, I tried out to become an NBA cheerleader. I can't do a backflip. I can't. Trust me, all the things these girls could do. I'm not a gymnast by any stretch of the imagination. But let's say 100, well, there were thousands, but let's say there's 100 girls, and there were 2 positions open. Just 2. They had their team. They needed to replace 2 girls. So we have 100 girls. Now, according to quantum physics, which judges nothing, it just delivers what you're believing and thinking. Out of 100 girls, let's say 50 of them are doubting whether they'll make the cut. And then they get there and they see all these other girls that look more qualified, they're skinnier, they're prettier, and they think that that's what's required, which it isn't. So they tell themselves some limiting story. So 50% already envision themselves not making it, it's not going to happen. Boom, we just eliminated 50%. They can't possibly get the position because they don't believe it, they're not manifesting it. That's how quantum physics works. It's that simple. Now we have 50 girls, and they're fairly secure. They feel like they're qualified, but there's still some doubt going on, or they get intimidated. And so all of those girls, except for 2, have any kind of doubts. And 2 know they've got it. I was one of them. I knew I had it. I said, why not me? Why not me? Absolutely. I could imagine myself in the uniform. I saw myself on the court. Sure enough, I and another girl got chosen. This has happened over and over again. I wrote my first book ever. I was self-published. I didn't have an agent, publicist. So I thought to myself, this is a Hallmark movie. It was based on a true story, but I took it into fiction. And I thought, this could be a television movie. Why not me? So I submitted it to an agency, who submitted it to producers. And I believe it was a second or third producer who read it, wanted it. Yeah, it went on Up TV. It's global. It went on Prime, Amazon Prime, and then it went into the Hallmark family. Eventually went to Hallmark, which is what I envisioned. I said, why not me? So when the agent called, she says, are you sitting down? And she said, you just got a movie deal. I wasn't surprised. She said, you don't sound surprised. And I said, oh, I am. And I thought, no, I wasn't. I was just waiting for the call. And no matter how many producers would have said no, I just say, that's not my producer. It hasn't happened yet, but it will. I already know I have it. I knew it. I saw it. I actually saw my name on the television screen, real big. And that's exactly what happened. If you watch the rooftop Christmas tree, within the first few minutes, while they're playing music, I had them place my name real big, based on the novel by Landria, Onkka. Right in the beginning, not in the little print in the back, right in the front. Why not me? Why not? It's a probability, so why not me? I applied on Capitol Hill for a writing position for a congressman, paid. It was an internship, but it was paid. It was closed. They weren't even taking applications. And it was already filled. A Harvard student had that position. They said, it's filled. Don't give us the application. We're not even taking them. I said, I'm going to fill it out anyways. Gave it to them. A week later, they said, well, he got a higher position, which I wanted him to get a higher position, this or better. I never want anybody to lose something so that I can have their stuff. He gets a higher position. They said, if you can get here in a week, you got it. Packed up my car and drove to Washington, D.C., got my paid internship. Why not me? Why not me? And you say, well, I'm not as qualified. I can't do a backflip. They didn't care if somebody did a backflip. They didn't care if you were a gymnast. They wanted other things. And I had it. Why not me? So you change the odds by believing, because most people that go after it will either drop out, so now your odds go up, or they don't believe and your odds go up. So now those come to the surface. This is how the Silva method, if you've ever heard about the Silva method, it's just you have to know it. So the Bible says, know it is done. You don't try. I can create this, but you're not doing it. You don't believe it. You have to know it is done. So you're in it. Now the odds are you're now only really competing with other people who absolutely know beyond the shadow of a doubt that it's for them, that they've got it. And that will happen. So sometimes it's like, so people have won the lottery over and over again. I've actually consulted, coached some of these people. Didn't make them happy, by the way. Actually ended up worse off. So be careful what you're trying to manifest. Material world will not make you happy. But if you want to step into something and create, do it on a high frequency. And be okay. You have to relax. Know it is done. So if you're like, it has to happen, it's not happening, you're not believing it. If you go into anxiety or fear at all, you're not believing it. So you better get a handle on that. If you're feeling that way, you're not in that zone. And so your odds are you are now the person who doesn't really believe it. I need it, which means lack, lack, lack. You have to say, I've got it. And if it doesn't happen like I did with this condominium, I said, I see myself in that condo. It's taken. Just like my writing position. It's taken. Okay. So then, next day I'm walking past it. I guess I just see myself in it. Called the real estate agent. He said, funny you called. The person who was going to take that condo bugged out. It's yours if you want it. Why not me? Things will shift in the reality because you already know it. I already know it. So the condo, I knew that it could be this or better. So if I didn't get this one, I knew something else better would come along, but I envisioned this. So I knew that it was a probability and there would be something similar because I really now knew what I loved. You can do this. My odds increased because I knew it, I saw it, I didn't doubt that I could have it. And I'll have this or a form of it. So let go of the outcome, because when you start to doubt yourself, oh, it didn't happen, that's not faith, and then boom, you're down here with the people Yeah. The odds increase because these people drop out. They don't believe it. The rest doubt themselves. You're up here. Why not you? So get busy. You have free videos here, a free webinar on how to break through fear. If you go in the description, I've got all kinds of free stuff from non-toxic products that'll clean up your world and your energy field, to my book, Break Through Fear, and all kinds of really good stuff, free things for you. Because this is your life, and it can be anything you want. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.